It's going to be a very interesting video to discuss because the main thing we're going to be discussing is how I invest my tech salary. And just to give you a little preference, people put out, amounts that they make and stuff like that. I don't think that's really important. I go based off of percentages. I think that will kind of like help and adjust it based off of your needs and stuff like that. So yeah, for the most part, I just want to go over just like percentages, right? First percentage I want to go over is like I invest more than 20% of my income. Sometimes like as of this year, I've been focused on a little bit less than 20%. The reason why I've been investing less this year is mainly because I've been focusing on vacation and resting and recharging and stuff. So next year I'm going hard on the percentages of going 20 plus again. But going back to the 20% and why 20%. Back when I was doing Christianity and stuff, this particular story on Joseph, and one of the stories that really stuck to me was when Joseph was essentially advising the Pharaoh that he had a dream and stuff and that Phantom is about to come. And what he advised the Pharaoh to say, hey, for every 5 grains, you save 1 grain. And then for, everyone doing the harvest and stuff, like they save 20% of their grain. It just really stuck to me. And I think that's, just a particular standard I like to go by. And I have, the rest of the money I put towards, actually my living expenses and family stuff. Like, we got to eat, and then also entertainment and stuff. So like, this is my hunting. This is my wife going on concerts and her traveling. I'm traveling. We traveling together as a family. So like, we got that kind of stuff. All right, 20%. That's where we're going based off. And then now, where is this 20% going to? First off, boom, my retirement. Roughly around 15% goes to my retirement. Of that 15%, that goes to the 401k. So that's like roughly like 10% of my salary pre-tax. And yeah, that's investing into an index fund that's going to give me roughly around a 7% annualized return. As you know, the S&P 500 has been doing well over in the last 2 years. I think this year has been giving me like 22% or something like that. And last year was like 36%. But it could be some days where it's down. But for the most part, doing that every single month or every single check that I get, and that's dollar cost average into that particular fund. It's a very low expense fund. I ensure that is like 0.03%. It was like the lowest one on the company plan thing. Then I max out the Roth IRA every single year. So I haven't reached that limit yet where I can't max it out. So I'm getting pretty close. But for the most part, that's maxing out my wife's, maxing out mine's, and that's pretty much it. And we able to save 14K every single year. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the retirement stuff. Going to the rest of like what's the rest of the 10 or 5% that I'm investing in for the rest of the 20%. That's your individual stocks and then some other stuff as well. So far, my current portfolio for the individual stocks has been really well. I'll probably talk about that another day, but for the most part, I go into mostly heavy information technology. I go into resources and mining and stuff. So there's a couple of those things in those sectors. Also, I continue to invest into like majority of my portfolios into a S&P track index fund. Actually, let me get into the criteria for the stocks. So pretty much how I pick my stocks, and for any of my family or my kids in the later days, the best way I can explain how I pick my stocks is it has to be a company that's more than 5 years old. Price action has to give you a 7% annualized return plus. Like 7% is like hey, this is the money that I need to make every single year from an investment. If it's not going to make that from the past history and what it's projected to do, then I'm not putting my money to it. So if I'm saying like in a savings fund and they tell you 0.03% in a bank like at Wells Fargo or Bank of America. That's not giving me 7%. That's giving me nothing. Or even those, Wealthfront, or I forgot what it's called, but they giving 4.3%. Yeah, that's great. That's great and all. Yeah, that's cool. But ultimately, if I'm investing in something, I want bigger returns and have the capital to put into that money, then I'm going to invest in something that's going to give me 7% or more. Also, I just want to see earnings growth and stuff as well. Hey, are they actually financially stable? Are they actually bringing profit and stuff like that? I'm looking at that, but I'm also looking at the PE ratio. Is that normal for that particular industry? Is it overvalued or is it undervalued? That's how I'm looking at that. Yeah, that's it. The other portion that I haven't really get into like on a yearly basis yet, but I'm going to be tapping that market pretty soon in 2025 is real estate and properties. One of the things I like to say is like the things in regards to my business and stuff is I essentially having a business so that I can essentially buy property and real estate, because these are going to be assets and things that are going to be generating income in the near future. So whether that is a single family home, multifamily home, or land I'm using for a particular use or service, I'm trying to make that money and bring that cash flow in for what I bought the land for, that particular property for. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist. Like I have a house, that's giving me equity and stuff. I don't really consider it as an asset yet until it actually brings me cash flow. Yeah, I build equity, I build a certain value in this house since I've been here for more than 3 years. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, like that's my investing philosophy. Boom. Might do this video again. We'll see.